Welcome to Talking with the Experts. Here we discuss all things business, by business owners, for business owners. Here is your host, Rose Davidson.
Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. I'm your host, Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com.au. My guest today is Debolina, and we're going to be discussing the AI revolution in recruiting and the hype versus what the reality is. And everyone's talking about AI transforming recruitment, but how much of it is real and how much of it is just noise? Now, Debolina is a seasoned talent acquisition leader with a passion for blending human insight with cutting-edge technology. With over 14 years of experience in recruiting across fast-growing startups and global enterprises, she has seen firsthand how AI is reshaping the way organisations attract, assess and hire talent. Known for her strategic mindset and ability to spot future trends in hiring, Debolina now focuses on helping companies build smarter, more inclusive recruiting practices, whether it's optimizing tech stacks, training teams, or debunking industry hype. She brings a practical, no BS perspective to the conversation around the future of work. Welcome, Debolina, to Talking with the Experts. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much, Rose. That was really a wonderful introduction. Thank you so much for that.
You're very welcome, considering I didn't write it.
Yeah. But no,
Debolina,
thanks
tell
so
me
much.
about your journey into AI. What prompted this keenness to follow AI in recruiting?
So I think AI is the next big thing. Everybody is talking about Gen AI now. That's where overall, as a community, we are going to progress. Every domain in our industry is kind of getting impacted by it in a good way, and definitely in certain things, certain cons also come along with it, right? So as you rightly mentioned, I'm into talent acquisition, right? I've spent like more than close to 15 years of my experience there. And recruitment is something wherein I definitely see AI influence coming in really, really at a high parameter, right? That's the reason I thought, just to talk about it, and your platform definitely gave that exposure. Thank you for that. And also, AI as a term is something, it's still what I feel is a bit vague among people. People are trying to still figure it out. It's still yet to come to its full potential. That's the reason I thought it's the best time to talk about it. As I mentioned, what is the noise and what is the actual truth? Give some insights, at least my insights, to the audience about it, so that everybody can have like a clear view. And it's just sharing the knowledge, what I have understood at least about it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's really important, Debolina. But where does AI actually deliver value in the recruitment process?
Right. I think first and foremost thing, if I have to say straightforward, is the turnaround time, right? Let's say in recruitment, the first thing that comes is resumes, CVs, applications, right? And there have been a majority of concern with people who apply saying that, my resumes are not even touch-based, or I didn't even get a call. I don't even know what happened to my resume, or there have been months when a person has applied and there's no response, right? Which is not the right thing. We are here being in recruitment professional. It's a very, very important job. You're trying to help someone with their job. So it's your duty to go through each and every applicant's resume, right? But if you talk about humanly, for one particular recruiter, it's nearly impossible to go through, thousands of applicants, right? That's where exactly AI pitches in, right? It helps you to understand the resumes which are relevant, and also to filter out the resumes which may not be the right fit at this point in time, right? So that's where your turnaround time gets reduced, not only for the recruiter, even for an applicant. He or she is aware, okay, where my profile stands with this profile, but with this requisition or with this job. So he or she is not waiting. They can immediately go to the other one and start applying for other opportunities. So that's the first stage. Similarly, secondly, also next comes is the interview stage, right? So in interview stages also, there are a lot of ways where you can automate the process now. You don't have to wait, manually do it, and talk to the candidates and get available. There are self-scheduling mechanisms, but with which you can just go ahead and get the interview schedule. So that again is a reduction of time for the recruiter, saving his or her bandwidth. Similarly, for the candidate, he or she can choose the availability as per their own preference. So the conversations are less, the actions are more. And similarly, at later stages, right, when the offer and joining, everything comes in with so many, AI implementations coming in ATSs, things are so automated. You don't have to touch base and talk at each and every stage. A lot of things just go on a system generated email, and the person just knows where his or her profile stands, and there's no ambiguity, right? So, yeah, so mostly it's making the process seamless, making the process smooth, and ensuring that everybody is on the same page, right? So again, it's not something which is still 100%. I think it will evolve more, but I think we have started the path, which is great.
Yeah, and I'm a bit worried though that there doesn't seem to be a lot of human element in the whole process.
Yeah.
Will AI replace the human element?
Right, exactly. That's the question I was expecting from this. No, the term human resources means human, right? You cannot take a human out of the human resources function, right? So human interaction is definitely necessary. And I'll tell you at which stages it is necessary, right? Immediately after the profile gets shortlisted, right? When it goes to the interview stage, before that, a human touch base is important. That's when a recruiter comes and talks to the person and say, hey, you know what, your profile is shortlisted. We find it great. How do you find the role? Any questions? So that is where you connect with the candidate, and it is good because you are not spending your time shortlisting the resume. So recruiter has bandwidth. Even the candidate, it is useful for them because immediately after their profile gets shortlisted, they know that they have somebody to talk to them, which is it's like a building of a trust, right? So there is where the human element comes in. Similarly, after each and every interview stage, right, as and when you filter out candidates, you can talk to them and say, you know what, your profile is cleared, has cleared the interview. We move to the further stages, and that's what keeps the human interaction intact. Even before the onboarding, right? Touch points with recruiters and candidates always happen. It's just that it's not monotonous. It just does not keep on happening every now and then, right? Which is good for both of them. Even a candidate doesn't want a recruiter calling them day in, day out, right? It's not a very good thing. So it kind of keeps the balance, right? So recruitment as a function will have AI implemented, which will ease out the process, but it will never take out the human out of the human resources function, if I have to put it that way.
Yeah, I didn't think it would. I mean, you still need that human interaction for
Yeah,
the process to go. But
yeah,
I thought I'd ask the question anyway. What are
yeah.
some common myths and misconceptions about AI? What it can't do yet, and including include some bias-free hiring.
Yeah. So I think the most, common thinking myth which is there is that AI will replace recruitment industry completely. That's not the case. And that's why, the previous stages, whatever I explained comes into the picture. You cannot take a human interaction out of a recruitment function, right? It is very much there. So if the common myth that is there that, it'll replace human interaction, no, that's not true. Yes, definitely organizations will look at a team size which is a bit more compact because a lot of things are getting automated, and you have to be on top of your game if you have to be in the function. And but that's the case everywhere, right? Any field you go, not only in recruitment, whether it's engineering, whether it's sports, everywhere we have to be on top of your game. So that's the thing which you have to be mindful. And next important thing is upskilling, right? You have to be in line with the trend. If you are not, then you will lag behind. See, these things were there earlier also, but the necessity was not that high. Now it's like you do or die. You have to be on top of it, right? And that's the only takeaway which I can think of.
Yeah, I think it, AI definitely has a place within the recruitment process. I totally agree. I mean, as you say, you get thousands of applicants, and you can't go through each one. I remember back in the old days, you'd apply for a job and you'd wait and wait and wait. But conversely, when I was on the other side of the recruitment process, we'd get a heap of applicants, and we'd have to sift through each one. We'd have to read each resume, each cover letter, and search for those words and things. And with AI, it just makes it so much easier that keywords are included in resumes and cover letters, that it makes the process so much easier by using AI.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the end goal, right? You want to reduce bandwidth from everyone, yet you want the process to be effective. So I think, as I said, we are not there completely, but we've started the march towards it.
Absolutely. So how can we evaluate the AI tools that are available? So what are some practical tips on cutting through the marketing fluff that's around?
Yeah. So I think if you're evaluating AI tools, right, that's your question, that how do you evaluate AI tools? I think first and foremost, I think very important is how much degree of an automation the AI tool is giving you, right? There are still ATS tools which are not, the automation is limited. Okay, so that is a call that you have to take as an organization, because see, let's face it, the more automation, the more it comes with the cost, right? So you have to keep in mind the budget and everything. And that's where, again, human interaction, human thought comes in picture, where then you make that call that, okay, what is best for my organization, right? So you keep both the parameters in mind, and then come up with the AI tool for your organization, right? But there are multiple nowadays. I think if I have to talk about Microsoft tools, there is ChatGPT, which is very, very predominantly used. Then you have Claude, which is very, very predominantly used. You have Gemini. Gemini has come up with so many modifications, latest. So there are so many things that you can, explore if you want to touch base with, if you want to, have your AI game on, right? Then you have one called Slide.ai, which is very good for PowerPoint, right? So there are a lot of things, right, which you can explore, and that can help you automate your work.
Yeah, we're always looking for ways that we can automate. I know I am. I would love to find someone that would automate my editing process. That would be absolutely wonderful.
I know. I get that. Yeah, that's true.
And Debolina can be found on LinkedIn. All of these links will be in the show notes when we move forward. And definitely look her up on LinkedIn. Debolina, if there was something that you could share with our audience today, what might that be?
So I think I just would wrap it up in 2 sentences. First, AI is the thing to be in the market. Accept it, embrace it, don't shy away from it. Second, don't be afraid that it'll take your job. No, your job will very much be there, but be updated with the trend, be on top of your game so that you're there in the market, and ensure do the job which you're best at.
Absolutely, totally agree with that. I think, being an early adopter of technology, I'm always looking for new things on the marketplace, and I love to try new programs and AI tools and whatever I can find that's relatively inexpensive, so that try before I buy. And a lot of the times, I don't go through with them because they don't do what I want, or they're a bit too technical, and so they're not easy to navigate. But I think embracing AI because it's not here now, and I think we should all be doing that.
Perfect. Absolutely, we are on sync.
Debolina, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Ruth. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye.
You've been listening to Talking with the Experts, hosted by Rose Davidson. Make sure you have a look at our back catalogue over at talkingwiththeexperts.com. And be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on any episode. We look forward to your company next time.